My friend, I want to explain something to you, or at least I will try. The problem with us is that we always see from the angle of one dimension at a time. I mean, we are here in a mundane plane at a physical perspective. And when we speak or conceive, we have we have a problem with only seeing from that perspective at once. Now, when God speak, or when higher beings speak, or when those that are enlightened speak, they cover all angles. And sometimes the speech to you at your degree will sound like an allegory, but it's not an allegory. It's the basic, um, it's the holistic. That's the word I'm looking for. It's the holistic way of truth. It is like telling a person that 1 plus 2 equals 3. And because we live in the box, I always talk about in a paradigm that only give us certain angles to conceive, so we cannot think beyond the border. We does not know we do not know that 1 plus 2 is not an absolute truth in general. It's just an absolute truth to the particular. For example, if I am giving you fruits, 1 plus 2 equals 3 because the agreement is that you get 3 fruits and you already have 2. So I plus 1. So 1 plus 2 or 2 plus 1 equals 3. But in the overall or the holistic vision, it also meant maybe 0 to me because the last one that I gave you could have been my last one. So if you look at the entire picture, I hope this is not difficult for you to understand. If you look at the entire picture, the balance is on both sides. So it include it the truth is 3 for you, but it's 0 for me. That's the complete truth. Our mind has to cover all. So in principle, your mind has to cover the spiritual, the mental, and the physical. This is why sometimes you maybe read a book and it sounds confusing. I mean, people talking about people flying in the air with wings and angel and stuff like that. But if you learn to see the things on all levels, you will understand. For example, if I tell you that I descend to earth, it can mean several things, but a descent is usually or most importantly from the cosmic. So now we are talking about Mardak. Mardak, we are talking about his DNA miracle. Should I use the word miracle? But he used DNA magic, but it's science to create one of the greatest spell in the history of the known universe. This is the universe we know. From the day that Mardak became his own sovereign to this day, or from the day he decided to lead to create a superstition in religion to guide the hearts of men by the use of religion, Mardak has been talking to spirits until to this day, talking to us, and it is by the use of blood ritual, not blood sacrifices as you Christians love to talk about. Blood rituals. It's totally different. Now, maybe if you are sleeping, if you are at that degree and can perceive and you're sleeping and you have a dream of yourself in a horizontal position, like in a hermit mode, it means one thing. You see yourself maybe as a giant. That person you look at is Amun Ra, but it is you. You actually see Mardak as you. And there's a reason why. I'm gonna go into it. I don't want the video to be too long, so I'm trying to be brief in them. So you see him in hermit mode, and you're gonna feel the first thing you're gonna feel emotions and regret for a lot of things. And Murdoch also, people thought that he was so tough. He was a warrior and all this. He was the lord of hosts, the mightiest warrior. And he went conquering and to conquer. No one could conquer Murdoch. Come on. Murdoch loved to fight in the air. He was like the best with an aircraft. Mardak could from the air and raining thunder on the earth. Mardak was absolutely the best. The best. Give him a craft. On the ground, any form of combat, Mardak was the best. So, in creating societies, greed and avarice among the gods, and the suffocations not only for them, for the Elohim or Anunnaki or whatever society that was up on the earth. The sufferation and enslavement even of innocent man who became regarded as the human, I mean, to this day. Now, what you will feel in that hermit mode is the sorrow of Murdoch, the man who people would think has no feeling, was so tough and all that. Murdoch had a very good heart, but ego ego was probably his weakness, or maybe it was his strength. For he felt that he was more important than anything else, and whatever he wanted, he could take. But at the end of all these things, he looked and saw the suffering of people, and he regretted, for example, the way the society was designed when he created a system. I mean, he did not do it all by himself, because all these gods created all these systems to use to control and manage the souls of others, etc., etc. And the greed and the way it turned out in the world, sometimes they become sorrowful. And you feel that sorrow when you dream of Murdoch. Well, you dream of you in that hermit position as the giant. There's another way which you will call a hierophant. You will see you as a hierophant. It means something absolutely different. Now, after Mardak, I mean, created his own kingdom, and he had many of this, well, call them subjects. They were subjects serving him, and he had God powers. He decided that he would put not only himself but his wisdom in perpetual motion. He was going to, like, it's a way to offer yourself to generations to come, to the ages. It is not only in speech, because what I say to you is going to be imprinted on your DNA today, and your children will know. That is, that is if you accept. And it is one way to imprint DNA by actually saying things to people, but it's not the most powerful way. And Mardak did know that. So he created and designed ritual, and he became Amun Ra. You might think that when a wise, when an enlightened being becomes God, it is simply a superficial thing. No, a mighty king can become Almighty God. You must learn to understand how the one can be the all. How, how I always say to reckon on quantum physics. There is the small dot, that little particle, that is all of that and not anything. So one is the all and the other is the all, but the all is one. So this idea or this conception will take a lot of time. So let's keep it if we cannot relate to it. Anyway, the mighty Mardak became the almighty Amun Ra to bring from the ethers, from the darkness, from dark matter, the light. From the dark, the light is conceived, the dark where I'm at, because there is where we go to source the light. So from our moon comes the ray, and the ray, just like the sun comes, light comes to the darkness. Just like you turn a bulb and you turn a switch for the bulb and the light appears. But it does not just appear, it appears to the right and truthful initiate over a period of time. Amun Ra discovered and created the rituals that will go to his blood. But in order for this to work, he, along with his brothers, his uncles, and all the other greats that had some, maybe even some that didn't have love for mankind, and some that did, offered their blood to mankind. And how did they offer their blood? Did they slaughter Mardak on a cross? Did they cut Inky's throat on a rock instead of a ram? Did they send his daughter to sacrifice because he won a war? No. They offered their blood in their children or by their children with the human. And even today, the phallus, the testicle, the impregnating object is being revered. Because when you talk about Baal or Baal, it is actually about the Baals. And when you talk about the Bible, the Testament, the testicle, it is actually about the Baals. And when you talk about a dictator dictating the wisdom, it is about the Baals. When you talk about the dictionary prescribing the wisdom, it is about the Baals. So everything is about the impregnating force. And the way Amun Ra used this force at this time was by DNA magic. And even the light of the Son of God was Amun Ra. And so it came today by even the word Jesus, the Son of God, the one who brings forth light from the dark, coming forth from the dark to light, from the night unto the day, from the sunset to the sunrise. The sun goes from the zenith to the horizon and back from the eastern sky into orbit. And we do the same. So, all the churchical rituals were imprinting the DNA, and some of them were harsh so that it could bring enough trauma to make imprints, and some it's hard to explain, but they were all done in a way that would imprint the DNA. And the rituals, they were perpetual rituals that were placed into perpetual motion. So when a people lose their culture, they lose their DNA connection to the Almighty Amun. And the wisdom fades. Their roots are uprooted. I was like just sitting here and thinking about all these things, and how people are disconnected from the holistic truth. And sometimes I wonder how is the best way to expose it. But the blood was offered, and the blood is in us. And that's the precious blood. That is the blood of salvation. And we see the person. We hold the memories. We understand the things because it is in us. It is just like the data. You place a data from one computer to the other, and it's there. If it's not properly functional, it will not open to you. So not everyone will become the initiate. What they did, they place into orbit perpetual motions into perpetual motion. For example, if I tell you that, look, you will go to Kingston City, Jamaica tomorrow, and when you go there at the time that you see, I'm going to tell you something unusual. I'll tell you that at the time when you see a woman um, chopping at a block of ice, something great is going to happen, something in particular. I will tell you that because I know the woman is going to come and chop at a block of ice. I know that, but you will think, oh, that's the magic, that's the miracle. So if Amun tells you that in the future, in the future, this a certain star will come on a certain day at a certain time. Then when that comet comes, that's the day of the magic. It incites. It's just a simple way to explain it. In another form, it will just come to. Not everyone is an initiate, so not everyone will understand how the download actually. It's literally a download. It's literally not unlike how the computer works. Because you need to understand that this computer system with the internet is simply a replica of this system that is used and was used not only by Amun Ra but the gods before him. And when I say the gods, what we need to understand is that there were never many gods in Egypt. Don't let the white man bullshit you. There were never many gods. There was always one God. There's always only the one. But there are so many particular characteristics and there are so many different essences that each essence, because you cannot be all at once. You can only be one at a time. So you have to concentrate on the particular. And the particular at the time was Amun Ra among the gods. And this is not to say that this man was a perfect being. What we need to do when we talk about God is forget about our conception of perfection. There is no perfection in any angelic being, in any angel, in any God, like that comes to a mundane plane. It's the same struggle as us. So it's just a little thought I want to put in your head for the day. I mean, I haven't given much details, but over time we just have to prepare for what we want to speak. If you want to continue though with this, I suggest you subscribe to the channel and give me a like so that maybe at some point we can reach a greater a greater audience, and by that time we might be able to press on with, I don't want to say higher level information, but deeper details. Peace out.